So for my ISU, I decided to make a children's book. So first I drew out the pictures, and now we're gonna digitize the pictures on Adobe Illustrator. First thing, we have to open up Illustrator and open a new file, or a new document rather, and let's call it page 1. We can change like size of the paper, but it's okay. I'll choose letter. So after we get to this, we have to make specific layers for specific objects, because later on when we're editing it to look better, it's going to be harder. So first of all, we're going to be pasting a picture onto our blank page. So let's call this layer photo, and let's go find the photo in so to place it, first of all we have to go to file, place, and we have to find the picture. And so here we go. So after we place it, we have to use it's called the free transform tool, and we must use this to orient the picture according to the way we want it to look. So I want it to be horizontal on my page, and I must hold shift the whole time I'm doing this, because it'll lose the picture might lose the original resolution, and we don't want that because it might stretch and stuff. So after, you can just place the picture at the position you want it to be. So I would like it to be about there. So after we have that, we can I'm just kind of fixing it 1 second. So now I'm gonna get the selection tool, and I'm gonna block the layer of the picture, so when I'm making objects on top of it, it doesn't interfere and it doesn't move around, because we're kind of tracing our photo. Basically, that's what we're doing. So let's block that. I'm gonna make a new layer called and I'm gonna call it school. So now let's get the rectangle tool, and I'm gonna draw a rectangle because that's the shape of the school over it, and I'm gonna get the right size. So just right there, and now I'm gonna get the selection tool again. Click on the object that I made, and we need to change the color of it. So if you go, there's two things. There's one of them is called the stroke, and one of them is called the fill. So right now we're gonna change the fill to like a brownish color. But now we can't see the doors and the windows behind the object, right? So we cannot trace them. So because they're behind the block that we made. So now we have to go to the tool on the right called the transparency tool, and there we can change the opacity. When we lower the opacity, the objects will become more transparent, as you can see, and now we can see the doors and the windows inside the doors clearly. So let's get another rectangle tool and draw the rectangle shape over the doors, and change the opacity to lower the opacity again, so we can see the windows and the doorknobs. And let's trace the windows and doorknobs also with rectangles. But for the doorknobs, let's use the ellipse tool, which is it's also underneath the rectangle tool. You must hold down the mouse on the rectangle tool, and you'll see all these options. And to draw perfect circles, you must hold down shift, otherwise they'll turn out to be ovals. So there's one, and here's the second one. They're not level, so I'm just gonna try and fix it a little. There, I think that's okay. And we're just gonna turn all the opacities back to 100, so all our objects aren't transparent anymore, because we don't need to see through the block. So, and now we can start changing the colors. So let's change the windows and the doors to like a bluish, a light blue shade. There, I think, no. that's a good one. Okay, so that's one. And let's use the eyedropper tool to get the exact same color for our next, oops, for the second video. So every time you make a mistake, I just like to undo it and just fix it. So so it's Command Z for that. So there we go. We use the eyedropper tool to get the same color for both of them. And let's make the doorknobs black, I guess. So there we go. And again, I think I'm going to use the eyedropper tool, is faster. So there we go. Now we can use the line tool to make the line, to split the two doors in half. So, and if you hold down shift, it's really helpful because it'll help you draw a perfectly straight line. Like basically the line won't be at an angle of any sort. So now that we have that, we can use the pen tool to draw the rest of the building, like for example the triangle. So the pen tool works on anchors, so you make anchors by clicking, and the anchors that you make will be attached to each other. As you can see, they form a line between each other. So there we go. I just made the whole, that little, I don't know what shape that is. So anyways, I'm just gonna close that object off, and now I have to get it to be the same color as the rest of the school. So after I close the object, I have to select the object and then click on the eyedropper tool, and with the eyedropper tool I just click on the school, and there we go, and now I have the same color. So now let's finish the rest of the school. So I'm gonna get the pen tool and make the little triangle on top. So there we go, 3 anchors, and close it off with the 4th one. Oops. Alright, so there we go. And I'm just gonna kind of bring it down a bit just so it's connected to the other object. So now I'm gonna make the bigger triangle, and so I have to use the pen tool, and again I'm gonna go around the triangle with the anchors and make sure they're perfectly aligned with my drawing. So yeah. Alright, so there we go. And now I'm just gonna bring that down a bit just so it's connected again, and I'm gonna bring the top 2 down slightly too. And so yeah, there we go. We have most of the school. And now I wanna put that banner up, or that sign that said school. So I'm gonna get the rectangle tool again, select the yellow color, because I don't know, I just want it to be a yellow banner, I guess. And I'm gonna draw the yellow rectangle right there. And now I'm gonna take the text tool, and I'm gonna write over it. Oops. Okay. So I'm just gonna wait. Let me finish the text first. I'm gonna center it, and I'm gonna make it a bit bigger. Too big. Ah, there. That's okay. And okay. So now I'm gonna try and draw the banner again. So let me select yellow again. There we go. And rectangle tool. There. I guess that's a good size. And I can change it up later if I want to. So there, right there. Okay. And we can arrange it to go behind the text, so send backwards. There we go. And now I need to make it a bit smaller, so I'm gonna just, oops. Okay. Okay. There, that's good size. So there, our school's done. So now let's work on the sun. So let's lock the layer of school because we're finished with that, and let's make a new layer called sun. And I'm going to grab the pen tool to trace around the sun. And so first anchor, second anchor, and the third one we gotta hold it down to get that curve. So hold down the left mouse button and drag it to fit the curve, and now we will have these three dots, right? And the middle, like that's just showing that like there's a curve going along that line. So look, when I end the object, it'll continue that curve, but we need to end the curve before we connect it. So we have to click that middle dot. So after we click that, we can end the object, and it's basically like ending the curve. That's what we're trying to do. We're deleting that anchor of the curve, and then when we end it, it won't continue that little curvy line. So now let's get the orange streaks of the sun. Like I just want the streaks to be orange, like the sun's rays. So I'm gonna select the paintbrush tool. I'm gonna zoom in a bit, just so I can get it to look more, I don't know, like just so I can get better detail. So there we go. I'm just gonna trace the streaks with my paintbrush. Oops. Sorry, I'm just clicking these two buttons on my mouse that do that. Okay, so there we go, almost done. Okay. Sorry about that. So there we go, that's our sun. And zoom out again. Okay, so now that we're done with the sun, let's lock that layer, open up a new layer for the sidewalk. So let's call it sidewalk. And we're gonna start digitizing the sidewalk now. Okay, so my tutorial for teaching the tools that I wanted to teach, like just some of the basic ones, or the ones that I use for this project, it's done. So you know, I won't be like doing commentary anymore, and I'll just kind of like fast forward the process of me making it, or me finishing this one page, and I'll show you guys how like my picture is different from like what I digitized, and so I'll just show you like how we changed it, you know. So yeah, that's it. Okay, so we're done, and this is it. This is what the final product looks like. So let me show you what the picture looks like first, and what the digitized copy looks like. So that's the picture, and this is what we turned it into. As you can see, it looks much better. And for someone who, like me, doesn't know, like I'm not good at drawing, you know, this is a really useful program. So yeah, this is it. Okay, the end.